Hello, beautiful human. I'm back. How are you today? Today we're gonna talk about suicidal thoughts, and this is a big one. And I really wanted to do a video on that because I have been seeing like so many people having suicidal thoughts, and the number is growing. For you guys to have an idea, when we did the calculation of how many people I treated, like how many people did sessions with me and had suicidal thoughts, 80% of the people I treated had suicidal thoughts. This is a huge number, huge. And I treat all sorts of different things like depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, panic attacks, childhood trauma, past life trauma, difficulty manifesting things. Like, you guys have no idea, it's like really different things every time. And 80% had suicidal thoughts. So this is a very serious thing. That being said, before I start talking about my content, I want to give you a little piece of content that came to me through Eckhart Tolle, which is like a legend. I really love the work he does. He explained that he was about to suicide when he became enlightened. And once he was about to suicide, he started to say, I can't live with myself anymore. I can't live with myself anymore. Until it came to his mind, wait a minute. If I can't live with myself anymore, me and myself are two different people. That's when he understood the difference between your physical body, your spiritual body, and your ego. I'm going to explain this a little better in another video. But that's when he got it. And then he saw a huge light explosion and he was awake. It was very intense, but it comes to show us that the suicidal thought comes when we are too attached to an idea of who we are without realizing that we are many things. So maybe the idea that we have is just like one side of us, or maybe it's not even us, it's just our feelings. Okay, let's get to the few reasons why you might be having suicidal thoughts. You want the pain to end and not your life to end. I'm going to explain this in a very simple way. When we don't know that we are multifaceted, we understand that everything that comes our way is us. So feelings, situations, people, actions, anything that comes our way, we understand that is us. So when we feel the pain and we don't know that we have a physical body, a spiritual body, and an ego, what do we understand? I am the pain. So when you say, I want to kill the pain, you don't say, I want to kill the pain, because you don't understand that the pain and you are different things, and that the pain and you can be transformed in different things and come back together in a more peaceful way. You understand, I am the pain, because you're attached to it. You identify with it. Once you identify with it, it's not, I want the pain to go away. It's, I want me to go away. So I don't want to kill the pain. I want to kill myself, because me and the pain are the same thing. Does it make sense? This is the thought process that goes behind the suicidal thought. That's why it's really important for you to get to know yourself, because then you can separate what is you and what came to you through a situation. Because the things that come to you through a situation, they pass you by and they go away. They have a time to, they come, they teach you, and then they leave. They have like a time frame that they are supposed to be with you, okay? This is very important. Keep this in mind. It's gonna help you, I promise. 2. You hold everything inside and you never speak your mind. This is very classic. Please pay attention to this if you have suicidal thoughts, because this can save your life. It really can. It can change everything for the better. A lot of people don't speak. Speaking is one of the most healing ways of releasing energy, of releasing trauma. So here's the thing. When you don't speak and you hold things in, instead of putting that out there and spreading it, dissolving it, and letting the energy go, the energy keeps on stuck. When it's inside your physical body, here starts to work way too much. So the problem grows out of proportion. So something that should be very small or very simple to fix becomes something monstrous. You start to be ashamed of it. You don't want to talk to people about it. You feel like if you say to somebody, your life is gonna end. And all these feelings, and what was a tiny problem starts to become a million problems, a complicated thread, that you cannot get out of it, like a spider web. You keep doing like a spiral movement and you never get the solution to it, because it keeps spreading and growing. So speaking your mind is something that is going to get you out of suicidal thoughts many times. Why? Because you're going to say it out loud, and once you say it out loud, you take the importance out of it, you take the pressure out of it, and many times you're going to say it, and then later you're going to think, oh, it was so simple. Yes, it is so simple. 3, you actually don't know the importance of your existence yet. That is why it's so important for you to know, why were you born? What's your soul mission? Why are you here? Because no one came because like, oh, I was just, you know, I just wanted to take a walk. No. Maybe yes, but if you're having suicidal thoughts, then no, then there's a purpose for you to be here, okay? This world is infinite possibilities. Yes, some people came just to, you know, take a walk. That's fine. But the people who came for that, they don't have suicidal thoughts. The suicidal thought comes when you're playing small and you're supposed to be playing huge, okay? When your existence doesn't have any meaning for you, when you've done enough, you know, this happens a lot with artists, celebrities, when you have a level of fame that is very, very huge at a very young age, and then you say like, okay, where do I go from here, you know, because I already have everything that I want, financially I'm okay, my family is safe, everything is okay, what do I do now? That's when it's very, very, very necessary for you to discover what's your soul mission. I have a session in soul mission at my website that it's to die for. Like, it's gonna be released very soon, so go and check it out, thecapewitch.com, or send me an email and I'll let you know when it comes out, because you're gonna love it. Anyway, not knowing why you exist is a very big deal, because then it's always the me. You're always focused on yourself, and you don't even know that maybe you should be serving someone else instead of thinking about how everybody else should be serving you, but they're not, because you're so unfortunate, because you're a victim, because you're in pain, because you're suffering, because this, because that. You know what I mean? So suicidal thoughts doesn't mean that you're weak, doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. It just means that you're out of alignment with who you were born to be. If you discover why you were born, then it's halfway, you know, halfway there. It's as simple as that. So this is a very good tip. And now let's talk about solutions. Like, how can you feel better? How can you do better? The first thing, before anything is said, I have to tell you, if you discover where does the pain come from and why were you born, then like 90% of the problem is going to be solved, okay? Let me just say that before anything else. If you want to hear nothing else but this, I'm happy with this. But just keep this in mind, okay? The first thing is you have to search for ways to dissolve or transform the pain, because a lot of people they search for ways to kill the physical body instead of finding ways to kill the pain. And let me just tell you, death is not that it's gonna disappear. Death is transformation. There is the book Women Who Run with Wolves. This is how we say it in English. There is one of the stories about the skeleton woman. It's my favorite one ever. And they explain the cycle of life, death, rebirth. Life, death, rebirth. You cannot be born without something dying. Why? Because when you are born, reality shifts. So death is just a shift in paradigm. It's just a reality shift. That's how you know that you're gonna die, and nothing much is gonna, like, it's gonna be the most beautiful thing, because it's the start of something new. So everybody who has suicidal thoughts, keep thinking about dying physically. You have to try and die spiritually. Does this make sense? If you guys want me to talk more about this, just let me know and I'll do another video on it, because there's so much to talk about. It's gonna be too long. This video is gonna be too long if I keep on stuck here, okay? 2, speak even when you think it doesn't make sense. Just open your mouth and say it. If you are like me, I used to write because I couldn't speak because I was too shy. And I'm gonna tell you something. Writing is the most beautiful thing. It's incredible. I do it till today. I have piles and piles of diaries in my house, but there's nothing like speaking. You have to open your mouth and speak it. And anyone that has gone through a spiritual awakening process, and especially a dark night of the soul, knows that at some point you feel the urge to speak. So even if it makes no sense, just do it, just release it. And I'm going to give you another tip that is not very popular these days because people trust a lot more in medication and doctors and stuff. I'm not this kind, I don't do this kind of therapy. I think that you can have the medication, but you have to do the psychological, spiritual, emotional side of it too. Otherwise, there's no way you're going to stop having suicidal thoughts. When you know that you're having suicidal thoughts, it helps a lot to connect with people who have less than you. In a sense, what I mean is people who you can give something to them. So being a volunteer, helping in places where you want to help with animals, kids, teenagers, women in vulnerable situations, refugees, whatever, helping people and working as a volunteer is very, very helpful because it takes the focus out of you and puts the focus somewhere else. So then it takes the pressure off and you can work on it gradually, you know, because otherwise it puts too much on you and sometimes you don't have the power to stop it before you kill yourself, okay? So it's very important for you not only ask for help and speak your mind and find all these things that I just told you about, but also for you to take the focus off you and put somewhere else. But keep on the treatment. Keep on searching for ways, because the suicidal thoughts, if you don't find the root of it, they come back, okay? I'm going to talk more about this in another video if you'd like, but for now, I'm going to leave you with that. See you next week. Much love, the Cape Witch.